Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So, we welcome all the devotees for today's class. Today we are discussing again from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, the Summum Bonum, Chapter 89, penultimate, second last chapter. Chapter entitled Krishna and Arjuna Retrieve a Brahmana's Sons. Text 10 and 11 combined together. Punihi sahalokam mam lokapalam shamadgatan padodakena bhavatas tirthanam tirthakarina adahyam bhagavallakshmya Adyaham Bhagavallakshmya Asamekanta Bhajanam Vatsatyurasi me bhutir Bhavatpada hatam hasah Punihi sahalokam mam Lokapalam shamadgatan Padodakena bhavatas tirthanam tirthakarina Adyaham Bhagavallakshmya Asamekanta bhajanam Vatsatya urasi me bhutir Bhavatpada hatam hasah Punihi sahalokam mam Lokapalam shamadgatan Padodakena bhavatas Tirthanam tirthakarina Adyaham Bhagavallakshmya Asamekanta bhajanam Vatsatyurasi me bhutir Bhavatpada hatam hasah. Any devotees? Mataji's. Word to word meanings. Punehi, please purify. Saha, along with. Lokam, my planet. Mam, me. Loka, of various planets. Palan, the rulers. Cha, and. Madgatan, who are devoted to me. Pad, which has washed the feet. Udakena, by the water. Bhavataha, of your good self. Tirthanam, of holy places of pilgrimage. Tirtha, their sacredness. Karina, which creates. Adya, today. Aham, I. Bhagavan, O my Lord. Lakshmya, of Lakshmi. Asam, have become. Ek anta, exclusive. Bhajanam, the shelter. Vatsyati, will reside. Urasi, on the chest. Me, my. Bhuti, the goddess of fortune. Bhavat, your. Pada, by the foot. Hata, eradicated. Amhasaha, whose sinful reactions. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Please purify me, my realm, and the realms of the universal rulers devoted to me by giving us the water that has washed your feet. This holy water is indeed what makes all places of pilgrimage sacred. Today, my Lord, I have become the exclusive shelter of the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi. She will consent to reside on my chest because your foot has rid it of sense. Purport. Continuing his comments, Srila Prabhupada says, so this is from the Krishna book, the so-called Brahmanas of the Kali Yuga are sometimes very proud that they can touch the chest of Lord Vishnu with their feet. But when Bhrigu Muni touched the chest of Lord Vishnu with his feet, it was different because although it was the greatest offense, Lord Vishnu, being greatly magnanimous, did not take it very seriously. Some editions of Srimad Bhagavatam contain the following verse between texts 11 and 12. And Srila Prabhupada also includes it in Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his summary study of the 10th canto. Ativa komalau tata charanau te mahamune ityuktva vipracharanau mardyan svena panina. The Lord said to the Brahmana Bhrigu, my dear sir, O great sage, your feet are indeed very tender. Saying this, Lord Vishnu began massaging the Brahmana's feet with his own hands. Om ajnanatimirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktaram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinataranam Paramananda Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Hare Krishna. So we beg the blessings of all the Vaishnavas, especially senior Vaishnavas, so that we can do some service to this text today from the great Srimad Bhagavatam, and we may bring pleasure to Srila Prabhupada by our humble attempts, and we may thus become purified also. So this is 10th canto, almost about to complete. In this chapter we see that, the sages decide, okay, let Bhrigu Muni test Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh and identify who is actually God. And then Bhrigu Muni goes and he kind of offends Brahmaji and then Shivaji, and then very seriously he offends Lord Vishnu by kicking on hitting or whatever the chest of Lord Vishnu by his feet. And here we see Lord Vishnu's response is continuing from the previous verse. So we had class by His Holiness Guru Prasad Maharaj day before yesterday, and it was so amazing class. Each statement was such a deep wisdom pouring out from, after being boiled in practice of whole life, coming out. So wonderful class Maharaj already gave. So I was just thinking, yesterday night when I came to know that I have to do this service today, so I was thinking what I will speak. Maharaj already spoke on this so fantastically. Still, in whatever little time I got to try to prepare, I will try to serve. So, although Lord Vishnu is telling here, Bhrigu Muni, that, because of your touch of the feet, we are becoming holy. But in the purport, Krishna book is quoted, and Prabhupada writes one important line. Because Lord Vishnu did not take it very seriously when he was attacked. When Lord Vishnu was attacked, he did not take it seriously. So on this statement only I could try to, let us focus on this statement only, that when attacked, how Lord Vishnu took it. When attacked. So although this is Srimad Bhagavatam class and this is 10th canto, but because my own practice is beginning and I am trying to understand Bhagavad-gita, so the whole discussion may sound like Bhagavad-gita discussion. So please bear with me. So in the second chapter, towards the end, Arjuna asks, Tita pragyasa ka bhasha, samadhistasya keshava. And then Krishna is telling that, not that Arjuna is asking, that how does he walk on the fashion show, how does he sit in the board meeting. So that is not actually what Arjuna is asking. Arjuna is asking that how does he behave in dualities of this world, in the thick and thin of this world. How does yogastha kuru karmani, yogasthita person who is connected to God, how he responds. And then Krishna is telling so many verses. So once I was listening to one class by His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. So he was explaining this nice analogy. He said that, so Lord Krishna is explaining in these 10-12 verses that this person is not disturbed by the dualities of this world. So if we compare the dualities with a river, dualities of this world coming, if you compare it like a river, and the river is flowing, a river hits the puddles also, and river hits the ocean also. Right? When river hits the puddle, what happens to the puddle? Lost, gone. Right? Destroyed. Correct? Everything is finished for the puddle. But when the river goes and hits the ocean, does anything happen to the ocean? No. Because the ocean is so big as compared to this small, thin river. Right? So then Prabhuji was explaining that similarly, our consciousness can be either like puddle or ocean, depending on what is the size of the consciousness, what is the content of the consciousness. So if the consciousness is very skewed, very narrow, then when the dualities will come, our attitude, our behavior, our dealings, our consciousness will be devastated. But if my consciousness is very big, very broad, then when dualities will come, and the consciousness will not be affected. Now, what is a narrow consciousness and what is a broad consciousness? We want to know that, right? Because everybody now wants to become broad consciousness, right? And Krishna also says, Udaradhi, right? Krishna also says to Arjuna at the end of this section in chapter 2, last verse, Esha Brahmi Sthiti Partha, O Arjuna, one whose consciousness is situated thus in the spiritual status, Brahma Nirvana Ruchati, he will attain Brahman or spiritual platform, spiritual status, spiritual world. So broad consciousness means consciousness focused on spiritual substance. And narrow consciousness means consciousness focused on material things. So Prabhuji was giving a nice example that once he was traveling in a train and he saw one person having a bead bag. So he was very happy that, oh, devotee. Prabhuji approached him and very happily that, oh, you are also devotee. And your bead bag is so big. And Prabhuji, kind of touched his bead bag, little bit shaking. And your bead bag is so big. The person shouted, hey, don't touch it. This is my nail bag. What is nail bag? No, this is my nail bag. I am growing my nails to compete for the world record for biggest nails in the world. So it is a nail bag, and if you break my nail, then my competition is gone. So it is my nail bag. Don't touch it. So Prabhuji was giving this example that this person is attached to such a small thing, and he becomes disturbed, agitated, right? Because he is attached to a material thing. Getting, Prabhuji? Similarly, this nails is insignificant, dirty thing. Somebody may be attached to a big house or big company, big empire. The size of your material thing doesn't decide the size of your consciousness. Jai SriSriRadhaRasbihari, Shri Gaur Nitai, Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ji ki jai, Shri Raj Govardhan ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ji ki jai. So okay Prabhuji, nails is very cheap thing. I will have a big empire now and become attached to a big empire. Then it will be a big thing. Then I will not be affected. The size of the thing doesn't decide the consciousness. The quality of that thing decides. Even if somebody may have a big company, big bungalow, but it is all within the purview of three modes of material nature. And any moment it can be destroyed. Any moment. Right? In the recent years we have seen the fall of big companies like Lehman Brothers and Satyam, like that. Kingfisher, right? I think Kingfisher also. Big giant companies. But few moments, few days, finished. So anything which is not beyond the control of time, which is not beyond the control of three modes, however big it may be, it is very small, like puddle. So if my consciousness is of the size of the puddle, attached to material things only, which are all within the purview of time and three modes, Kala and Prakriti, then my consciousness is attached to a very small thing, and any moment I will be disturbed. But if my consciousness is attached to something which is beyond time and space and three modes, then even though that thing may be very small, insignificant thing, my consciousness is very big. Because this big thing will not be destroyed by time and three modes. And to that degree I will not be disturbed. For example, His Grace Vibhu Chaitanya Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada's disciple, Bengali devotee, staying in Vrindavan all his life. So last 16 years, I believe, in his life, he was serving Charanamrita in Vrindavan temple. Every day. Small service, eating one cup, one spoon in Charanamrita, giving to thousands of people. And he was so blissful, so satisfied. Small thing, insignificant small seva. He has hardly no bank balance, no post position, nothing. But his consciousness is attached to something divine. And he is blissful. Similarly, once one devotee was telling that His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj was telling in a class that when he was president of Vrindavan temple, ISKCON temple, so then Maharaj happened to meet the Raja of Puri. He had come to Vrindavan or Maharaj had gone to Puri, I forgot. So he was taking prasadam, this Raja. And then he was talking all the while. History, how Rajas used to control the whole funds and the properties. And now gradually British government, took away everything. And then he was telling in the 80s one Prime Minister, she also took away finally, all the remaining rights with the Raja. And he was telling all this history. And Maharaj was thinking, "Mujhe kyun bata rahe ho? All this thing, mujhe kya lena? What have I got to do with all this history and all that, your sad past?" But still, being a gentleman, Maharaj was sitting and listening. And then he said something very nice, which Maharaj was telling to devotees. Then he said, although they have taken now everything away from us, but one thing still is with us, and that is our service to Jagannath. Our service to Jagannath. That they have not taken. That they could not take, or whatever they have not taken. That is still with us. So all the big looking money and post position and dominion over the properties and the funds, everything is gone. But the lasting thing, the divine thing, that is still with them. And that is satisfaction. He is not agitated. So in our life also, if I am attached, if I am becoming disturbed about something, I should have few moments to sit back and think, why I am so disturbed? If I don't get this thing, what bad will happen? What will go wrong? Do this introspection and come to the point. What is that thing for which I am disturbed? Is it material thing which will be destroyed with time? Or is it spiritual thing? Once one devotee asked His Holiness Jayadvat Maharaj, with growing age, now we are 40 years of age, and then, will ISKCON take care of us and this and that. And he was so absorbed in asking his question, he did not notice that Maharaj interjected his question in between and said, what about 70? He could not hear only because he was so absorbed in asking his question very seriously to a very senior person who can answer. Other devotees started laughing that Maharaj has answered already. I am 70 plus. What you are asking, 40. So I am giving this example that we may be attached to our body and agitated if any risk or any insurance is not there. I remember a few years ago, I was talking to Sundar Chaitanya Prabhuji. And at one point that talk was that those who have not done 10 years in ashram, for them we cannot provide medical care or that much. Something like that, the discussion went to. It may not be correct also, but I perceived it like that. And as soon as I understood it, and I calculated my years are not 10 years, what happened next? I became very agitated and I started quarreling with Prabhuji. How this can happen? Somebody has given his life to temple tries to take care. And at that time I was not, conscious of why I am becoming agitated. And, quarreling with Prabhuji and shouting on Prabhuji as if he has made the rule and the rule is actually made. I was, very heavy with Prabhuji. So now as I was preparing for this discussion, then I was reflecting on this incident. But because my consciousness is filled with my own body care or I am body and it has to be protected, it has to be maintained eternally. No harm, no disease can happen. And ISKCON's top priority is to take care of this body. ISKCON is meant for this purpose only, to take care of my body. And if ISKCON is withdrawing from this commitment, then I have agitated and I have to create a scene. So and Prabhuji is always tolerant and patient. He just tolerated disrespectful, very agitated talk. But I am trying to give this example that how what angers us, what agitates us, actually is a big teacher. Anger may not be good, but anger can be a very good teacher. Becoming angry is not good, but anger can be a very good teacher to help me identify what thing I am becoming agitated about. Is it a material thing? I was becoming agitated once another time when one of my students, sorry to say it like that, I am myself struggling with basics, but just to help us understand, I am using this word. So one of the students, when I anticipated that, he is becoming attracted to somebody else, or somebody else is giving him service, and then I did not tell this to anybody. So I was, he is becoming attracted to somebody else, and now he will go and take shelter of that devotee, and he will not follow me, and he will not do my service. He is not respecting me. He doesn't understand the greatness, and he is not grateful that I have done so much hard work to bring him and make him a devotee. What is this? And I was speaking for many minutes or long time, very disturbed. And then, by Krishna's mercy, Vaishnava's mercy, I could think about, okay, whatever, even if he is attracted to somebody else, how does it matter? Your bhakti doesn't depend on him. Yes, his association is important. Every devotee's association is important, but not on his material support or material glorification of yours. If I have to do some service, I want his help for some service only. That service is Srila Prabhupada's service. If Srila Prabhupada wants me to do that service, then he should arrange facilities. Simple. Otherwise, whatever facilities he is giving me, with all my senses and my facilities, I will do that service. And Srila Prabhupada will accept it. Fine. At the end of the day, I want to serve only, no? So, to the degree I gave these two examples to help us understand that sometimes I may give it a cover of Krishna consciousness. I want to do service to Prabhupada, or this body is Prabhupada's property, Krishna's property, Guru's property. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Sanatana Goswami, so I am concerned about my body. I may give it a Krishna conscious covering, but heart of hearts, I cannot cheat Paramatma. Krishna knows, and this will be revealed in my other dealings. On that point, when I am caught red-handed, behaving very erratically, harshly, un-Vaishnava-like, I may say that, for Krishna only, after all it is everything. Yes, fine, justified. You take your material facilities or whatever in the name of Krishna. In other dealings, the fact will be revealed. And then it becomes very, very ugly. When the devotee or leader, he is posing himself as Krishna conscious leader, but actually he is not. He is still attached to. There is no difference. Outside person is wearing pant shirt running for material things. Inside person wearing saffron and running for material things or material support. There is no difference. When situations crush, when we crush the mango, mango juice comes out, then we realize, this is a ripe mango juice has come out, this was a good mango. Wow. But if you crush one thali, one bag, and stool comes out, even if the bag is saffron, still you will not respect or value that thing very much. So just by wearing saffron, Srila Prabhupada says that, saffron is not sannyas. The attitude of service to Krishna is sannyas. In one lecture, his Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, says the same thing in another very sweet way. Maharaj says, dress may or may not be saffron. The character should be saffron. Very nice. I liked it. So here we can see Lord Vishnu, when he is attacked, what he is speaking, unbelievable. Similarly, Maharaj was telling day before yesterday, His Holiness Guru Prasad Maharaj. I actually was very serious to just hear that class again and repeat the whole class again. But I could not get time actually. Otherwise I would have done that only, because that whole class was so profound. So profound. So Maharaj was telling Haridas Thakur, what was his response when Haridas Thakur was interviewed? Haridas Thakur said, I heard the blasphemy of the holy names. So only they beat me in 22 marketplaces. I deserved much more punishment. When I heard this, 2 days I was thinking so many times on this only, that how can somebody think like this? At max, if I am a very great devotee, at max what I can think is, Krishna is taking my test. I have to pass the test. Tough times are coming, but I will show Krishna how great I am. I will tolerate everything. That much at max, if I am a great devotee, I can think. But this Haridas Thakur and Goswamis, they are out of the world. They are extraordinary. He is telling that, I deserved much more punishment, I got very less. जैसा बाप वैसा बेटा, जैसे भगवान वैसे उनके भक्त. And then I asked Sundar Chaitanya Prabhuji, please help Prabhuji class tomorrow morning. So Prabhuji gave this very nice example of David. When David attacked Srila Prabhupada, any old man, forlorn, in the middle of the night, New York night, very chilly winter, Prabhupada is having very thin one kurta, whole night. What will he do? Next day he will take the ship and come back to India. These people are hopeless. I cannot preach to them. He can just say this. But we can see, not only tolerating, continuing to do the mission of his Guru in that situation is the response of Srila Prabhupada to the attack. Similarly, recently I was hearing this conversation of Srila Prabhupada with the reporter, 1971 November in Delhi, when India-Pakistan war was going on, and during the conversation this siren blows off. This big siren. And there is complete blackout now, Indian government siren. Then they are recording that siren is also there. And suddenly the reporter changes the subject and asks Srila Prabhupada, Swamiji, this siren is blowing, blackout, enemy is attacking us, any moment we may die. And Srila Prabhupada is very cool, fine, no problem. So if Krishna wants us to die, we will die. Why are you so worried? And this person is so worried, so disturbed. And Prabhupada is so relaxed, he is speaking Krishna Katha, relax. Because his consciousness is attached to Krishna. Okay, if Krishna wants me to die, fine, I will die. What is the problem? Why to worry? Till the time Krishna has given this body, let me serve. Death can come anywhere, anyway, anyhow, any moment. Till the time Krishna has given this body, let me serve my best. Prabhupada is not disturbed at all. He is so relaxed. So relaxed. Similarly, we can see in the life of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I recently happened to read it. That section, Bishkishen. He challenged on the 7th day of the hearing of the court case, Bishkishen openly challenged Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Oh Thakur, oh Babu, yesterday didn't you see your daughter? She was about to die. Still time is there. Better understand my power. Better understand who am I. Don't challenge me. Free me. Finish this court case. And that day when Bhaktivinoda Thakur went home, Mother Bhagavati also was telling that, oh my dear husband, please understand. Please forgive him. Please abandon him. Leave him. See our daughter. And the one school in Puri had been burnt. The daughter was about to die. Bhaktivinoda Thakur himself was feeling chest pain severely and right side was kind of paralyzed. So wife was pleading that please leave him. Our whole family will be suffering. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, let our whole family die. But this badmash must be punished. So another example of our great acharyas when they are attacked. Because their consciousness is fixed on Krishna. They are not disturbed. I did not purposefully want to give many examples of Acharyas or the Lord, Nityananda Prabhu, Mar Khe, Prem Diye, because then what happens is, we feel, yeah, they are Lord, they are Acharyas, they are so great. We are practical, we are what we are, conditioned jivas. So I purposefully I want to abstain from giving many of such examples. I want to stick to examples of our level, so that we can really understand that this is a very serious subject. So, 2 more points I will speak, then we will stop. In such situations, when I am attacked, then many times I try to give it a cover of preaching, that for the mission of the Lord, for preaching, I am defending this situation. Not my reputation, not my followers. Because you envy me, that is why you feel that I am worried about my followers. But actually I am not worried about my followers. I am worried that this devotee is doing this important service for Srila Prabhupada. And if this devotee leaves my group or goes away from my group, then the service to Prabhupada is disturbed or spoiled. And for that I am quarreling or fighting or behaving in this so-called un-Vaishnava way. Right? The mind may first justify to myself and then I may justify to the Vaishnava around. But then we should know that the greatest preaching happens by first living these books in our own life. That is the greatest preaching. I'll give 2 examples. So last week was our registration, temple registration slot. Right? Temple registration slot for youth registrations. And Monday was the registration, and Saturday or Sunday only this point became clear that we have to do the guest care seva now. From Monday only for 4-5 days. And the seva is whole day seva, whatever seva was there. And I saw nobody is there now. And I also had to go to Avasari for some, crucial thing. Now I finally decided that okay, if nobody agrees, then I have to give up Avasari and I'll stay back and try to serve. But then I was still feeling that I should go there. Then finally I pushed Advaita Karuna Prabhu. That Prabhu, you have to do this seva now. You and Harinarayan Prabhu, you both do this now. So he was little silent. So I thought that he will be feeling that hamara registration hai from tomorrow and Prabhuji is telling now to do this guest care seva. So then now I had to convince him. So I told that, see Prabhu, you want to preach to the youths, more boys, correct? New boys. But don't you want to preach to the old boys? And he was still paused, that what it means. I said, by this sacrificing your Priya Seva of registration, and I also have told him that your registration should be done very seriously, because those people are coming to temple, because I have heard many pastimes of Srila Prabhupada and His Holiness Gopal Krishna Swami Maharaj, that whoever is coming to temple, Srila Prabhupada desperately wants that those people should be very lovingly dealt with and they should be very nicely preached. I have so many pastimes I can tell on the spot from Srila Prabhupada and Maharaj. So I have told him that you have to do this seva responsibly. You cannot chill out and time pass. So then I was telling him, don't you want to preach to the senior boys? Then I told him that following your authorities and sacrificing your Priya Seva is a preaching to your senior boys. That we are actually meant to live for the pleasure of our superiors, our spiritual master. Even if at the last minute Yashoda Mata wants to churn the butter, but Lala comes and says, Maya, give it up. I want now first the milk. And Maya is Vrajavasi. She says, okay, Lala, we are leaving for Kana. I like to churn butter in the morning hours now, and so that I can tend to my household chores peacefully later. But now you want to interrupt it? Fine. And that is what qualifies mother to be Vrajavasi. So I told him that, don't you want to preach to senior boys? The senior boys, let them see that although Prabhuji is so attached to this seva, but still he has given up this seva for what? For following the order of Nimai Nitai Das. So we also have to live like this. We also have to. So I said, tomorrow your students also will follow this principle, and then with the support of them you will be able to accomplish important tasks in the mission of Srila Prabhupada together in a team. One more example I wanted to give. What? Of course, Advaita Prabhu agreed, so all glories to him. I selfishly got my work done and I left. I'm sorry. One more example I wanted to give, I forgot now. So when such Kamal Narayan Prabhu sitting, Kamal Charan Prabhu, I forgot, sorry. Kal Charan Prabhu, sorry. Nalnikanta Prabhu was telling me once that Kal Charan Prabhu got ready for the Abhishek. And he was just leaving the room. And then he heard the mobile phone ringing. And he went back and saw that, maintenance people are calling. And then he came to know that the cordless mic is not working properly. And he needs to rush. And then he left Abhishek and came here. First I will set up this mic properly, then I will go for Abhishek. But actually, he could not go for Abhishek only. So now mind is attached. For me, at least I can talk. Now I go to altar, do Abhishek. On YouTube, hundreds of devotees will see Lord. They may see or not, but they still see me surely. The real Lord. The mind gradually becomes attached, as you are getting ready for going to the altar. And then when the mind is fully attached now, then to give up that attachment and serve Krishna by doing something else, what Krishna or authorities want. That is not easy. इधर ही लिखा दूसरा एग्जाम्पल Manoram Gauranga Prabhu is a good example that he did one preaching program once in Jalgaon. So after the preaching program, he was coming out of the hall. New students. So all the students left. Only 4 or 5 students were following him up, asking questions. And when he came out of that rented house where we had done the program, he came out. So the opposite house, they had made the ramp newly. Just that evening only they had made the ramp. And the cement was still wet. And they were just, with their 4 or 5 boys and himself, they were walking just next to that ramp. And suddenly, old lady came out of the house and she saw on the ramp the shoe marks on the wet cement. The wet cement is now spoiled. That sloping is spoiled because of the shoe marks. And she started shouting very loudly on Manoram Gauranga Prabhu. That what you are doing? Can't you see, you fool? Spoiled the whole cement pavement. Who will repair it now? What we will do? And for 1 to 2 minutes, she was like scolding very heavily. And anybody will feel very bad that my students are next to me and then you are in front of them. What, you're making chutney out of me? But actually, Prabhuji very respectfully, with folded hands, told to that old Mataji, replied to that old Mataji, Mataji, we are very sorry that this thing has happened. And surely it is not good. It should not have happened. But we used to inform you that we have not done it. We have just come out of the hall. We did not come out only from the hall. It's not done by us. So respectfully he said that the Mata, she was just speechless. She just could not speak any more one word. Just nothing. And she quietly just went back inside the house. And now, Manoram Gauranga Prabhu started working with the 5 new boys. And now these 5 boys, instead of feeling insignificance About Mandaram Grang Prabhu, it was opposite. They were very respectful. Now they were bending down their shoulder to listen every word what this person is speaking. You understand? So we think that for the mission of Srila Prabhupada, for the mission of this and that, I am fighting and quarreling, and he attacked me, I am attacking back. But this is, in most cases, this is all rubbish. Actually, when we live as per our Shastras, giving proper response, not react, that is when actually preaching happens. Not by speaking big lectures, hundreds of shlokas, but by living an ounce of what we speak in tons. And the last point I want to speak is that we keep making backup arrangements whole life for defending against attacks. My own example I can give. Today morning this occurred to me that every time after Tulsi arati, we go watering Tulsi. So, asan sometimes finishes. That red asan, nice asan, finish ho jata hai. Koi le leta hai. So what I do, I take one asan, keep in that one corner there and put my uttari on that. Block it. Nobody should take this asan. So now see the mentality. What will happen if this attack happens? Let me arrange the backup. Pehle se hi. Whole life goes in this only. This asan is a very small example, funny example. But actually this is what everyone keeps doing whole life. I go to a sari also. It's out of the village where we have our center. So sometimes we leave early morning. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So early morning, 4:30, 4:40, in that village, the college is there, so many of the teachers, they are awake 4:45, 4:50 in the morning and they are walking, doing this morning walk, jogging and all that, to keep healthy, to protect against the attack of old age. And once 15-20 of them were walking together. So I asked the student, Hare, why they are so many walking together? Why not couples, husband, wife, husband, like that, why they are together? They are not doing Harinam Sankirtan in the morning. They are just walking. He said, Prabhuji, because in this area, leopard is coming very frequently. Leopard means bibata. Bibat, cheetah, I think, leopard, I don't know, whatever, leopard. So, leopard will not attack a group. Leopard will attack 1 or 2 person. So, that is why they grow in the group. So, how much person, plans and things to keep fit to protect against the attack of old age? Or somebody applies insurance in Kokalabin Hospital, 1 lakh rupees health checkup, annual health checkup, family health checkup, annual 1 lakh rupees. I saw one's brochure. So, and people invest in properties and medical insurance and whatnot. Whole life we carefully observe goes in protecting against the possible attacks. But still, we don't understand that attack can happen sitting in the house, like Lord Vishnu in his house, sitting comfortably, lying down, and somebody can come and attack there. In what form, at what time, in which situation attack will come, we don't know. We foolishly keep making arrangements against material attacks to protect situations. We don't realize that attack can come anywhere, anytime, anyhow. That is why Kulashekar Alvar says, Idam shariram parinama peshalam patatyavashya shatasandhi jarjaram kimaushadam pritchasi mooda durmate niramayam krishna rasayanam piba. Are Baba, this body, idam shariram parinama peshalam. This body has to fall apart slowly or fastly. Kimaushadam prichasi mooda durmate. Are you foolish person, why you are running after medicines? Niramayam Krishna rasayam nampiba. Drink the elixir of Krishna Katha and become attached to that never destroying reality of Krishna's lotus feet, his dham, his katha, his prasad, his bhakta sangha, his darshan, his kirtan. Fix your mind, attach yourself to that permanent thing of Krishna Katha, Krishna's lotus feet, and be prepared for any attack. To hell with all attacks. Anyways, they have to come. Who has survived? Srila Prabhupada gives example of Kamsa, Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, and then Prabhupada says modern, like Napoleon, Hitler, Stalin. Who could protect himself? So don't waste time on this. So here we are learning that attack can come. Now time is not there. Attack can come on our ego. Attack can come on our mind. Or like ego, Daksha's ego. Or intelligence, like Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, intelligence was challenged by Rup Narayan. Right? Or sense gratification, somebody taking away my job, taking away my money, and then. So attack can come in any form, to any of our attachments, through ego, mind, intelligence, senses. So I have to observe, and then first teach this book to myself only. That why to be worried about this attack on this attachment, on this door of attachment? Why to worry? Let me attach myself better to Krishna and be prepared. So here we can see beautifully Lord Vishnu is teaching to his devotees by example, and all our acharyas, all Shad Goswamis, all Guru Parampara, Lord, you can see Lord Ram was attacked. Morning he is about to become the temple president of whole Ayodhya or whole world. And the previous night he is told that you are going to forest for 14 years. Not only you are not becoming king, but you are going to jungle for 14 years. And Lord Ram, instead of, see how Lord wants us to be. Instead of attacking back in the name of Krishna consciousness, the Prabhupada mission or this and that, instead of attacking back, Lord Ram is happily accepting, and not only accepting, rather in that situation thinking of comforting others. He is going to Mother Kaushalya, he is going to Mother Kaikeyi, and assuring Mother, before tomorrow morning I will leave, please don't worry. And Mother is now relieved. Then Mother Kaikeyi was relieved. Ram has given his vachan, before morning he will leave, then he was relieved, she was relieved. Just imagine the Lord in that situation of injustice, attack on him, he is comforting Kaikeyi Mata, Kaushalya Mata, Dashrath Pitaji, Lakshman Bhaiya. How the Lord thinks, how he loves everyone. So that is what Srila Prabhupada has given us in his books, in his pastimes. Whole Prabhupada Lilamrita is filled with dozens of examples of this. So if we don't do this, externally I may wear saffron, I may even hold danda tomorrow, but I cannot hide my reality. The situations, real situations in life will show my actual reality to people. And the more ugly thing happens when my reality, although visible to everybody, still I try to defend in the name of so many cheatings. And it becomes very ugly when, as a leader, I tell them that you have to follow me, I am so great, I have done so much for you, and this action also of mine, you are not able to understand, you are on a very low level of consciousness, I am on a very high level of consciousness. With time you will understand who is the Acharya, etc., etc. It becomes very, very ugly. So we pray to Srila Prabhupada that what our beautiful Lord, smiling and playing flute, and smiling at us and requesting us to be ready for these attacks, become attached to high things, not the low things, and come back to his lotus feet eternally to always enjoy with him. So our beautiful Lord is inviting us all for that. So we pray to Srila Prabhupada and the entire Guru Shishya Parampara that I can begin to understand some life, someday, what they are giving, and first myself begin to relish what they are giving, and with that relish, with that spiritual satisfaction, I can clearly see the difference between material satisfaction and spiritual satisfaction, and with that I can pursue my service and hope in one day, someday, I will begin to understand Bhagavad-gita. And please, Srila Prabhupada and Gaur Nitai. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I beg forgiveness for very, very boastful, offensive many times and instructive attitude and message. Please forgive me for that. I am myself struggling. The devotees who are working closely with me, they know with so many weaknesses. I beg at the lotus feet of all the Vaishnavas, please bless me that someday I can serve the Vaishnavas in some way. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Any corrections any devotees would like, Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. You are speaking about Vibhu Chaitanya Prabhu. Once Srila Prabhupada was there and then he was discussing with some journalists. Then Srila Prabhupada said, a devotee doesn't have any ambition. Then Kirtananda was there. He tried to correct Srila Prabhupada saying that he doesn't have material ambition. He has spiritual ambition. Prabhupada said, no. Devotee doesn't have any ambition. Then he said, devotee is satisfied if he can live in the temple, chant Hare Krishna and take a little prasad. If there is any service, he will do it. Otherwise, he will take his chadar and clean the doors of the dust. Clean up the dust. So Prabhupada, some devotees are like that. Some devotees are very ambitious, want to become GBC, Guru, this and that. But there are some devotees, even in Juhu also, some devotee. One devotee was there, he was simply serving Tulsi arati. Tulsi. He's only very old man, he was serving Tulsi. His job was to bring the Tulsi plate, wash the Tulsi plate, keep it back. Throughout his life, he did that only. Then in his last days, he had a brain tumor, brain hemorrhage or something like that. Raj Prabhu took him to Vrindavan. And then he was staying in his last days in Vrindavan. During Kartik month, one of the Ekadasi or something, he left his body.
Hare Hare.
Anyway, one more thing I want to tell you, don't mind. It looks like you are a very happy man. Half of the time you are laughing so much, I could not understand half of the lecture.
Actually, I got this feedback from Tattvavit Prabhu also, that you don't speak the consonants fully. I'm not able to understand your... So maybe somebody can help me how I should speak. I tried to speak very slowly today for this purpose only. Also another reason was I could not prepare much. I'll try. Thank you, Raji. I'll try to remember this. Correct, Raji. I'll try to remember this. Thank you. Thank you for important feedback. We should serve Vaishnavas properly. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So there's always a tug of war and confusion for different individual, maybe at different level, that what is to be done, what time we fight, what time we flight, and what time we just tolerate. So Prithu Maharaj, he told Mother Earth, you have come in the form of cow, even if you come in the form of woman, I'll kill you. And same Prithu Maharaj is being told by Brahmaji, don't fight. Let Indra, let you not complete 100th yagya and let Indra do. So same Prithu Maharaj, both things. Even in Prabhupada's life we see, Prabhupada wanted to fight in Jhansi also. And Prabhupada, he put effort to fight. But then Prabhupada's God brother says, a small place, the fight is not worth. You go somewhere. Then Prabhupada did not put a fight in Gaudiya Math. And then Prabhupada went to US. There also he put a fight. Even to get a ticket he fought. He was not just dependent on Krishna. If Krishna wants to send, I'll sit in Vrindavan. Then Mr. Price taking $5,000 from Brahmanand Prabhu, cheating. Prabhupada said, you have to fight. Then the place we are sitting, Hare Krishna land, Prabhupada fought. He did not give up. Okay, let Nayar take it. We'll find out another place. So many times Prabhupada, and he told us, like as an organization, the authorities have to take concern. Like this is a wonderful example of what Ramru Prabhu said. Prabhupada said, devotee will just clean the wall. That is good. But then devotee also has to worry about the world. So Prabhupada has showed both. Even Bhagavatam shows both. Today only morning I was hearing Prabhupada was saying that Hanuman has nothing to do, he is a brahmachari. But he fought. Arjuna has nothing to do, but he fought. So when to fight, when not to fight? How do we decide? Who will decide what is the consciousness of that individual that time?
Thank you, Guruji. Such a nice question. So actually I wanted to speak on this. I did also. But then due to time, I could not speak. Thank you. So I'm sorry, time is over, but I'll in 1 minute only try to answer short. So 3 points. First is, in that section of Prithu Maharaj is written by Shukadeva Goswami or Maitri Muni, that actually after due consideration, after a lot of consideration and thinking, he decided this action. First point. Second point, we can see in all these, most of these cases, where our acharyas fought, or whatever case situations, most of the situations we will see they fought against karmis, who are trying to disrupt the mission of Lord, or some service of the Lord. And third point is, if it happens within devotee circles also, some tussles emerge, then a Vaishnava, like Srila Prabhupada, with his God brothers, he pleaded, come together. So we will be within Vaishnava boundaries, that he is a Vaishnava, he is chanting Hare Krishna. He deserves all respect. Srila Bhakti Ashra Vaishnava Maharaj in his first initiation lecture here, he spoke very heavily this pastime of Vishwamitra Muni, Brahmarshi, that he concluded that Brahmana, if he is not humble, all claims are null and void, all other claims are null and void. And second thing Maharaj said is that anybody chanting, when some Mataji asked Ritvik a question, then Maharaj said that anybody chanting Hare Krishna, we have to respect him fully. So when it comes between Vaishnavas, I may plead. The other day Srila Guru Prasad Maharaj in Brahmachari Ishtagoshti also said the same thing. You are telling others as Prabhu. How can you complain? So Maharaj was telling a very deep point actually. So the same thing again and again, that when amongst Vaishnavas, we can plead, we can inform, we can request. And if still these things are not moving on externally, things can still move on internally. Internal growth can still be continued, whilst ensuring that I don't breach any of the Vaishnava conduct in any way like that. I can plead, inform, approach authorities, request, but I will be within that purview. And now in this period when things are not moving, fine, external things are not moving, but internally growth can still happen by a lot of contemplation and how I can approach the matter, how I can present to Vaishnavas, how I can circumvent their concerns and still go ahead with the seva of Srila Prabhupada, like that. Yeah. This is my understanding, can be wrong.
So this is clear that when we are in Vaishnava circle, so this is very nice point you brought out. When dealing with outsiders and especially who's affecting our mission, because this is Lord's mission, so then we have to fight. And within the Vaishnava community, we have to request. But sometimes we see that within community also, because there's a management. Management means what is more appropriate, whether this decision is appropriate or this decision. A lot of decision is taken place. Whether devotees will enter on the festival day this side or they'll enter from this side. A lot of management meeting happens. So how to take care of the consciousness and yet put your point?
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. So in this situation, actually, on the spot we cannot do anything. It has to be cultivated in our daily, every single dealing. Minding, in every single dealing, the Vaishnava code and conduct. If that practice has happened, and we have heard from devotees like Srila Vaishnava Maharaj spoke that day, so impactfully he spoke, that whoever is chanting Hare Krishna, so hearing these Vaishnavas who live that in their own life, actually, and cultivating, practicing this in our small dealings in day-to-day life, that will give me a right climate in my consciousness of dealing very seriously. Now they are all senior Vaishnavas, they are taking care of the mission of Srila Prabhupada, and that too Srila Prabhupada's major Tapo Bhumi, big project of Srila Prabhupada, big bhavan of Lord Chaitanya. They are the big people here. So I have to be very grave and mindful of everything I speak, and with me keeping my respect, still I have to present my point, telling all the pros and cons, instead of speaking loudly, speaking rashly, harshly. Instead of that, I can tell the pros and cons. That will require some intelligence and some homework, so that they will see what I am able to see, although I am not able to present it. So I present the pros and cons of the situation, then their intelligence is now challenged, and they feel that heat. What we want to convey through harshness or through pushing, that let it be conveyed through our thoughtful submitting points. But that will happen only if we have cultivated and heard profusely. Shruta Samhritaya Chiram, Kapil Dev says. If we have done that, then only it can happen. Otherwise, we are entering into a very high profile area, but we are not prepared for that high profile dealings. Then we'll surely end up doing mistakes, and that is when it happens that I'm very feeling dry, management is very dry, never compromise your sadhana, Prabhu, management is not, stay away from it. All that happens this way. This is how the end result comes this. Otherwise, Prabhupada did, and so many senior Vaishnavas are doing. We have example of as well as Gopal Krishna Swami Maharaj. He did management only whole life, and he was so mindful, and he was absorbed in Srila Prabhupada and Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that is my understanding, Prabhuji. Please forgive me. Okay, Prabhuji, senior hai. इतना मैंने बोला वैष्णव पे. Yes, Prabhuji, बोलिए.
Hare Krishna.
Most of the times, I beg your pardon, most of the times with me it happens. I can tell instance. I enter into some facility or some post, most of the times, seeing the perks and the benefits. I am very quick to enter. When Prabhuji is sitting in the Chaitanya Prabhuji, he knows. I am very quick to enter into facilities and posts without even understanding what high profile consciousness is required for that. And that is where the mistake happens. Not that they are wrong devotees, this and that. Prajari Prabhu always tells the example. Prajari Prabhu always tells the example of Srila Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj in Ahmedabad meeting, very heavy meeting, crushed. And what came out? Maharaj stood up, took Kartal, beautiful kirtan he sang. So high profile area, high profile people show their real high profile consciousness. So we don't have that, and we enter into it. Then we blame devotees, situation, temple, this and that. But we are not understanding the way is not to approach this way. It's a different way altogether how we have to approach. And that was the expertise of and the high level consciousness of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Swami Maharaj, who showed and smiled his way back to Krishna or back to Srila Prabhupada's service. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्णा. आज दो कमेंट है मेरे पास, तो संक्षेप में बताऊंगा. जब भृगु मुनि भगवान विष्णु के वक्षस्थल पे लात मारी, छाते पे लात मारी, तब उन्होंने उनके अपराध को क्षमा किया और उन्होंने बोला कि मेरा वक्षस्थल वज्र के भांति कठोर है, आपके पैर जो है कोमल है, कहीं आपको चोट लगी होगी. तो उन्होंने उनके पैर में मसाज किया. तो इसलिए सिद्ध हुआ कि सब देवों में श्रेष्ठ जो है भगवान विष्णु ही है और दूसरा कोई श्रेष्ठ है ही नहीं. और दूसरा बात यह है कि प्रभु अपने प्रति अपराध को क्षमा किए और इसलिए उनका स्वभाव से पता चलता है कोई भी भक्त या ब्राह्मण हमारे प्रति अपराध करता है तो हमें उसको क्षमा करना चाहिए. इससे प्रभु प्रसन्न होते हैं. और दूसरी कमेंट ये है, जब फल्गु बाबा के प्रभाव से श्रील भक्तिविनोद ठाकुर का परिवार बीमार हो गए, तब उन्होंने अंततगोत्वा उस फल्गु बाबा के जो सर के बाल थे वो बाल को कटवा दिया। वो चेकआउट करने पर उसकी सिद्धि खत्म हो गई और वापस वो जल्दी मर गया और श्रील भक्तिविनोद ठाकुर का परिवार सब स्वस्थ हुआ प्रभु की कृपा से। तो कठिन परिस्थिति में भी भक्त लोग डगमगाते नहीं है, धैर्य के साथ इसका सामना करते परिस्थिति का। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So I seek forgiveness from devotees for so late. Next, I today very much tried that I'll end on time so that question answer can serve. Please forgive me. Next time I will try to. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.